Hey, ladies, you want to go flying? You want to be a pilot? Well, there's nothing stopping you. Hi. Welcome to the superpilotish channel, ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Graham Wilson, and I'll be talking to you today about women in aviation in my basement. And first, I got to adjust my microphone. You think I get that right? There she is. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I'd do a little video here. It's kind of strange. I was thinking about doing a video like this for a while, but I was also kind of thinking like, yeah, oh, what's the point? But my thinking on that is because I've been looking at the analytics of my YouTube channel, and they can tell different like. YouTube will tell you, okay, who's watching from what country. It's mostly Canada. I live in Canada. A little bit from the United States, depending on the video, and the sex and the age of anyone that watches, and it's 100% guys. So according to the stats, so I don't know who I'm talking to here. The guys don't care; they're already flying and stuff. But I guess there's always this thing out here about how we got to get more women into aviation and stuff. And I think you know, no matter where you are, any airport, the more pilots, the better. The more airplanes, the better. Everyone always benefits. As the corporate people would like to see, synergies develop. But it does, So it's always better to do that, and it's kind of like for the last, I don't know, 50, 60 years that women have been told, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And then if you think about the history of aviation, women have always been involved in aviation since, okay, the Wright brothers, there's a couple dudes, they flew like 100 feet. After that, they made some planes and guys were flying more, women were flying more. And it was like, even if you're thinking like wartime, I don't know if you knew it, but a lot of people, some people do, some people don't. But you always hear about these hotshot fighter pilots and bomber pilots risking their lives over Germany and stuff like that, and in World War II. And how did those Mustangs get over there, and the B-17s and the B-25s and all that stuff? Women flew them over. They're flying over like in the middle of the night over the North Atlantic with looking at, okay, can you see the North Star? Yeah, I got it. Okay, turn right another 5 degrees. And so, like, you tell me that's not dangerous? So it's like, I wouldn't want to do that. You crazy? But yeah, so I mean, women have been involved with aviation. I don't really see why it's such a big deal. The thing is that just as far as numbers, it's not like 50-50 or anything. But, people are different. So, not everybody likes airplanes. No, pilots, I know. I know what you're saying, pilots. What do you mean? Everybody likes airplanes. Believe it or not, most people don't care about airplanes or they hate them. So, and it goes for guys, it goes for women. It just so happens that the women don't care a little more, and they hate them a bit more. It's just statistically, like from what I've seen. Now, of course, here we go. Ooh, I am being a little. That's right, I am controversial. I'm just like, if you look at any of the statistics that you can pull up, who has like either a private pilot license, commercial pilot license, or ATPL, airline transport pilot license. That's all available on Transport Canada's website, and you can take a look right at it. And generally, and just because they have these licenses, it doesn't mean that their medical's valid or whatever. The statistics are a little, they're close enough for jazz. So actually that would. Close enough for rock and roll. How's that? Bad pun with the jazz in Canada. Yeah. So, and just from what I've seen, people that are active in aviation, I'd say that for general aviation, where private pilot license, you go flying on the weekends, maybe do it a little bit for business or something. I'd say maybe about 10% are women. Of all the pilots, 10% are women. And then when you get to doing it for a job at the airline or at the commercial level where you're getting paid. I'd say probably about 5% women. And I I really think it's just with today's day and age, I just from what I've seen when I was working as a flight instructor, and that's where everybody starts. Whether you're everyone starts off trying to learn how to land a plane, and they're all garbage at first, but they all get better. And but they won't tell you that. They won't tell you Mr. Hotshot 777 pilot won't say, "Oh yeah, my instructor like almost didn't recommend me for my test because." Oh no, they just get the rolly bag and be like, "Hey, I'm awesome. Let's go to the sim." But girls are like that too. They have the hotshot thing. But I mean, you deserve being a little bit of a hotshot there. You've worked for it. You earned it. So where was I talking about here? Okay, yeah, we as far as who is interested in learning how to fly. When I was, people would come in and they want to learn how to fly, and just it wasn't a policy or anything. I was just curious. Where I would ask them, how'd you find out about us? And they all said Google, 100%. So if there's the internet exists now, it's not like it was, I don't know, say 30 years ago. How long was 30 years ago? Yeah, I guess we didn't have any internet 30 years ago, really. So, I mean, 30 years ago, it was tricky to find out information. And, how do you wouldn't be watching some guy talking in his basement on a computer 30 years ago. But now that exists, that technology exists. And I think anyone that really does want to learn how to fly, there's ways of figuring it out. But I mean, there's still some benefit to listening to a semi-retired flight instructor sitting in his basement. And I'm going to do a little in the description below. I'll give a couple links to a few websites that's my personal. I'd say my personal hints at if you're a woman that wants to get into aviation, or even like maybe you're in grade school and you're thinking, well, I like airplanes. And the other girls, they're all into makeup and Instagram and stuff. I want to fly airplanes. If you're one of those girls, then check out the links below. That's my recommendations, and go from there. Find a local chapter or a local something of some group. You'll see it in the description below. And so like I don't think there's anything stopping women from getting into it. They just don't really want to. It's kind of like the same thing as and the way the economy is right now, it's just like there's so many jobs for everybody everywhere. If you want a job, it's there. Can you show up? Yep. Okay, you're hired. Pilot jobs are easy that way. I was looking on Avcanada. That's a good little resource there, avcanada.ca. I'll put a link to that below too. And that's kind of a good Canadian pilot forum, and there's free jobs on there, and you can see there's captains getting hired all over the place. There's a lot of movement in the industry, and I know there's flight training units, like flight schools are busy right now. Just everyone's coming out of a 2-year hiatus, and they're all waking up and going, all right, let's get in the air. And then next thing you know, that everyone's flooded. So I mean, there's jobs all over the place for everything. And it's just like, most guys don't get into, I don't know, daycares or something like that. You don't see like a daycare center where it's 90% guys and 10% girls. People like different things. Sewing clubs, I guess, probably, I don't know, maybe. I know a lot of guys do leather work and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know I don't know the sewing stuff. That's a bad example. So I didn't prepare. Can you tell? Anyways, okay, so I'll give you a couple of hints there too. And one thing I made a couple little notes about some things that if women or girls want to get into aviation. One thing I did see, and it kind of bothered me a little bit, but I wasn't going to say anything. But now I have a job, so hey, I freelance instruct, but I mean I can't get fired. So here it comes. Now, what I saw was that it would be either a grandfather or a dad, usually, that would come in with their daughter. Now, the daughter just wants to spend time with grandpa or, the dad or something. They're just happy to be around him. And you can tell as an instructor, they don't care about planes at all. But, my daughter's going to be a pilot. Yeah. They do that with guys too. And I took one dude for a flight. It was like, so I don't know. I call him there's like hockey dads. I guess you'd call them like flying dads or airplane dads. I don't know what you call them, flying dads. And they want to push their kid into it, and the kid's like, I don't want to. One guy I took wasn't a girl, but it was still an example of someone who's not interested. The dad came in. I think he might have been actually an Air Canada pilot. Yeah, rings a bell. I think he might have been. He was definitely a licensed pilot anyways. He knew his stuff. Oh, my son's going to do it, and he's going to do it for a job. And see the kid, he's on his phone. What? I'm like, okay, that doesn't look too interesting. And we got in the plane and we took off, and I said, okay, well, once we're up in the air, I'll let you fly the plane. And the kid's like, okay. And then I get up in the air and I'm like, all right, here you go. This is the way the controls work, nose up, nose down, left, right. All right, you want to fly the plane? Nah. He just sat there on his phone the whole time. I'm like, well, mind if I go fly down the river? Yeah, okay. And he didn't look up from his phone. He landed. And then the dad always says, how did he do? How did he do? And I was like, all right, I guess. It's like, I don't think he even knew he was in the air. He was looking at his phone the whole time. That happens a lot more nowadays. So that's an example of where just because your kid is, this is for the dads, and maybe even there might even be some flying moms out there too. If your kid's not interested in it, you're wasting your time, wasting your money, and not everybody's into flying. It's not like a genetic thing that passes down. It can be, but like not genetic. You know what I mean. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about that, and then another thing too is to if for some reason, like you might be like I've had people call up and stop in where I used to work training people how to fly. And some of the braver kids, they're like, hi, I'm 13. I want to be a pilot. What do I do? And I'm like, well, that's some real gumption for a 13-year-old. And so what you could do is if you're if you are a kid watching this and you say, I want to get into flying, then what I would say is, okay, one little trick you could do is you could ask your parents for Christmas and say, can I get an introductory flight at the local flying school? And then parents will look into it. I want to be in a plane. I want to do an introductory flight, an intro flight, or some places call it a discovery flight. Ask for one of those, see if you like it. And then what you could also do is you ask your parents, hey, can you give me a ride down to the airport? I want to talk to someone about learning how to fly in a few years. Your parents will be like, what? You're going to get off your phone and actually do something? Well, sure, I'm in. And but I don't know, do kids even like I think they're on their phones a lot these days. I don't know. I'm at the point of my age where like I'm old now. So you're old when you go, kids these days, the music they listen to, like that happens, man. It's like, these kids, they don't even listen to Def Leppard anymore. Oh, they can't appreciate Iron Maiden like back in my day. Like so anyways, I'm old, so I don't know exactly what the kids are other than I see them walking around with their phones and I hear them walking down the street saying the other day there's like these kids on their phones that, hey, did you hear about Johnny? Yeah, he was watching porn. And I was like, you guys are like 10. Oh well, kids these days, what are you gonna do? Okay, right. So yep, that's about it for today. If anyone does want to get into flying, I'm also here. If someone gets in the chat and they want to ask a question, I can do that for you. If you want to email me, it's superpilotish@gmail.com. I'll answer emails for you. If you want something a little bit more specific about learning how to fly, I can point you in the right direction. That's what I'm here for. And that's what all 20 of you that watch, that's that's what you came here for, right? And that's about it for today. And we'll check the chats here. Oh, Wrench is back here. Okay. We got a Da Vinci quote. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, there you long to return. Very good quote there, Rich. And yeah, so I'm going to go. You know what? I'll do one little thing there. I was going to do like a time check, but I'm going to do a slime check. So I got my tomatoes that I'm kind of checking out here. On Friday, I stuck them in here. We'll see if they're getting slimy. A little bit of mold. I don't know. Can you see that? Ew, getting gross. Yeah, you want good slime on top of your tomatoes before you save them. Yeah, life's not all about airplanes. Sometimes there's slimy tomatoes. So, anyways, that's about it for today. I think I'll shut her down. Check the description below if you're got any women that are flying or interested in flying. There's a couple little links there. You can kind of check it out. And I didn't mention the Air Cadets specifically. If you're in Canada, Royal Canadian Air Cadets, great place for a girl to get started. They start off when they're 12 or 13, I think. Check it out. I'll put it in the link below. All right, so I'll be back on Wednesday at noon Eastern because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll shut her down. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.